Welcome to Jerry Bear's Friend-Tastic Library! Today we're going to be talking about The Great Gatsby, book versus movie. But first, I want to tell you awesome things about me. So, I have a Patreon. If you want to get shout-outs at the end of every episode or every video, then you just have to join my Patreon for $1. And if you want my mood trackers from my bullet journal, then you join for $2, and that's it. You just get them every month. What else do I have going on? If you listen to any of my content through Spotify or Anchor, I officially jumped into the ad campaigns, but I promise I'm not going to get crazy with it because I'm super against a lot of them, but I did create an ad for Anchor. So if you click play on some of those platforms over there, not YouTube, then I might just maybe make like a teensy bit of money off of it, because I truly love Anchor and they offered it to me and I said yes. Will it let me quit my day job? Absolutely not. But, you know, it might just help me like go get my nails done or something one day. Who knows? I'm not holding my breath. So, anyways, with that being said, I'm going to talk about The Great Gatsby. So, whenever I say book versus movie, I'm pretty sure there's like 8 different movies. But I'm going to talk about the 2013 movie with Leo and the OG Spider-Man. So, yeah. I'm obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know if you are. If you're not, maybe you should be. Yeah. So I read the book in January. If you would like to go watch that video, I'll link my January wrap up in the description box. Oh, if you want to join my Patreon, that's in the description box too. So, without further ado, this shouldn't take too long because this isn't a long book or movie. This was probably one of the best book to movies I've seen, but that's because the book is only, how long is it? I don't even know. The book is only 200 pages. It's only 4.5 hours long as an audiobook. So to get it down to a 2.5 hour movie doesn't take much. You can check out my journal spread for it. It's this top half right here. Look how pretty. Ooh, look how pretty. Ooh, look, that's the guy. I drew that. Ooh, look, 4 stars. So that's what I gave the book, was 4 stars. So the reason I gave it 4 stars was because the character development is really, really good. I think it's a beautiful representation of people with their messy lives. I thought it was a good representation of the time because it was originally published in 1925 and it's set in the 20s, so it's fitting. I think it's a good representation of the time. I feel like that's what a lot of reviews say, is that it's a really good representation of what times were like in the 20s. So, yeah, I thought the book was okay. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars was because I know I'll never reread it. I don't feel like I would recommend it to everybody. Yeah. There's a lot of sexism, obviously, because it's the 20s. So, yeah, borderline like spouse abuse, depending on what you think about that. So that's why I gave it 4 stars. I think it's a great classic, 100%. But, yeah. Oh, I guess sometimes I like to tell you guys what I'm listening to and all the other things. So currently, what I'm watching is Moon Knight. I'm obsessed with it. Episode 5 was just released. This video will be released on Monday the 2nd, I think. Yeah. So whenever you're watching this, the 6th episode will be released very soon, and I'm very, very excited to see it and finish it. I thought Moon Knight was going to be really silly, and it's actually super duper good. So if you haven't checked out Moon Knight, go check it out. What I'm reading right now is Ready Player One. I'll probably finish it tomorrow. It's super duper good so far. I will be doing a Ready Player One movie versus book once I finish it because I feel very passionately about it at this point. So it should be pretty easy to talk about. What I'm listening to? That's an excellent question. Right now I'm really into Queen Herbie, which used to be Carmen. Now she's Queen Herbie. I'm also really into... What else have I been listening to? I don't even know, dude. I really like the Head in My Heart song by like Joel Curry, maybe? What's his name? But it goes bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum. Yeah, that song's on repeat like a lot around my head. I've also been listening to a lot of dance songs because my kids are learning them and obsessed with them. So that's like the Cha-Cha Slide, the Cupid Shuffle, the Macarena. Yeah. So we do a lot of those because Cotton Eye Joe is another one. So we listen to those a lot because my kids are loving them and loving learning the dance moves. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching, reading, and listening to recently. I just finished The Alchemist. It was okay. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, back to The Great Gatsby. So I thought it was super duper good. The 2013 movie. I want to make that very, very clear. We're talking about the 2013 Great Gatsby movie with the best cast, which is Leonardo DiCaprio and Toby McGuire, aka Spider-Man. It also had like Isla Fisher and Joel Edgerton. Yeah. So it had like good all-star cast in my opinion. Okay, so I think Toby McGuire is excellent as the main character / narrator. I think he has like that really nice calming voice. Like, my gosh, Toby, stop. So he has like the best calming voice, and I feel like he just has that sweet innocent face about him that just you feel like you can just tell him your whole life story and he won't judge you. So I love that. Leo is like the perfect Gatsby. I'm pretty sure Leo is just Gatsby in real life, where he's like this crazy, eccentric, mysterious person that just loves throwing parties and entertaining people, but he really has like a secret love crush that nobody knows about. So he has like really sweet ulterior motives. That's what in my head that Leo is like in real life. When in actuality, I think he's a pretty normal guy that just really loves dating really young supermodels. So kind of not his type, unfortunately. But, you know, maybe as he gets older, he'll broaden his horizons. Anyways, so that's my love for Leo and Toby. If you've been living under a rock and you've never read the book or seen the movie, I won't judge. I'll just tell you what it's about. So basically, the narrator moves to the big city, I think, something like that. He moves to a new place in a house, and he finds out after college, and he finds out that his cousin, I think she's a cousin, Daisy, lives in the same neighborhood, and also in that neighborhood is this fabulous guy that everybody keeps talking about named Gatsby. And nobody knows much about him. And Daisy and her husband are not in a good relationship. He's pretty abusive and gets pretty angry. They fight a lot. I think they have a kid. Pretty sure they have a kid, a daughter. And the husband is also cheating on her. He has a pretty hot side piece that he sees all the time. And yeah, the poor narrator is just like in the midst of all of this drama the second he arrives to town. And then you find out that Gatsby is actually in love with Daisy, and they have been in love with each other for quite some time. Or they were in love, and then they like kind of took a break, and now they're like back in love. So then Daisy starts cheating on her husband with Gatsby. And then poor little Toby McGuire, aka the narrator, is just kind of stuck in the middle of all this drama, just trying to hang out with his friend Jordan Baker, because she's kind of cute. But yeah, so that's basically the whole movie. It's like a lot of drama in the 20s. But I think it does a really good job at showing the small parts of life and the complex emotions that come with everyday life. I feel like it's not uncommon for people to feel love for more than one person, or to be in love with their spouse and then feel love for another person. I think love is a very normal human emotion, and so I think that it captures that essence very well. Were the characters in it pretty hateable? Yeah, I think they did it the wrong way for sure. But, you know, it's the 20s. They're all just basically drunk and smoking cigarettes the whole time and throwing lavish parties for no reason. So, what are you going to do? But yeah, I think... What else do I think? I mean, it's really not that complex of a movie or a book. That's why, like, I gave it 4 stars. It just isn't, like, mind-blowing. As far as differences go, I can't really think of a single difference. I think that in the book, the relationship between Daisy and Gatsby feels longer, and we get more of a description about Gatsby's background in the book, because they have more time to cover that stuff. But I think the movie really covers the essence. I must say, I think I like the movie more than the book in this instance. Yeah, I don't think the extra 2 hours was necessary. I think the movie is incredibly entertaining, and I think it covers everything that happened in the book perfectly, and everything you really need to know. So, not to mention, I don't know if cinematography is the right word, but the way that they filmed the movie, I'm like obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the way they made everything look. I'm obsessed with the way they shot things. I'm obsessed with like the flashiness and the grandioseness of the film. I also love the quickness of it. Everything just kind of feels like upbeat and quick. I absolutely love. It's like it's pretty early on in the movie. I love the scene where he walks into like Daisy's house and he goes towards the sitting room, and the white curtains are coming in and blowing through the window everywhere, and it's like taking his breath away. And then he sees Jordan get up, and she does this like move whenever she gets off the couch. The way they did that in the movie fit the book's description so well, in my opinion. Like, so well. I feel like they got that like spot on with the way the book described it, 100%. And that scene is one of my favorites, where it's like the time slows down and he notices the beauty of everything, and he sees these beautiful women just laughing and smoking cigarettes and drinking on the couch, and they're both dressed so classy, like, and then this tall, thin, pretty woman Jordan stands up, and she's like getting all the kinks out of her body. I just love it. I love everything about it in the book and in the movie. It was perfect. I guess I should say that I saw the movie before the book too. So maybe I'm a little biased, but I love the movie. The way they make Gatsby's parties look are so amazing. Obviously the cliche Leo meme where he's standing there with his little champagne glass and the fireworks are going off behind him and he's like, old sport. Like, that's the best. I love this movie so much. And I do think it's much greater than the book. I think Daisy, the actress that played Daisy, I don't know her name, but the actress that played Daisy, I think, was a really good casting. She has that awesome, precious face that you just get the feeling, you can just feel every emotion she's feeling by her face. And she has those beautiful sad eyes. So I thought she was a really good casting as well, even though I don't know that I've seen her in other stuff. So, yeah. I love the scene where they show Isla Fisher dying. I know that sounds weird now that I just said that out loud. I guess what I mean is, like, the way they described it in the book and the way it happened in the movie, again, is just like an excellent depiction of what happened in the book, in my opinion. So the way they described it in the book was like in great detail, and I think that they portrayed that in the movie super duper well. Actually, that whole scene leading up to that event where they're in the hotel and it's really hot and Daisy's like clearly a little crazy in the sense that she's like, let's go out. I want to go out. Let's go to the city. And then they go to the city and she's like, oh, it's so hot in here. I just want to go home. Right? Like, I think that book to movie, that whole scene was just a really, really good depiction as well. My absolute favorite quote, the second I saw the movie, my favorite quote that I've remembered since I watched it back in 2013 is, I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool. And I loved it in the book. Probably my favorite part of the book and the movie. I think it explains how some women felt back then so well, and how some women feel today even. Yeah. Women either have to be really strong and tough, or they have to be a beautiful little fool, I feel like, in this world. Because it is not always kind to us. So, I love that. I love the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg watching everybody. I feel like the billboard in the movie really captured the image that they build up in your head. So, yeah. I mean, all in all, I definitely think the movie is way better than the book. If you've seen the 2013 movie, I feel like you don't really need to read the book. I read it just to see, because I love seeing those differences and seeing how well the movies did. So I do it out of curiosity, but honestly, I'd rate the movie a 5 and give the book a 4 stars. So, um, yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of any other um, big things that really stick out to me. Um, yeah. If you have about 4.5 to 5 hours to kill, you can listen to the audiobook. I think it's like free or like $1, and there's like a million different versions, so you can find different narrators until you find one you like. I found a guy with like a nice male voice, since I knew the narrator was a guy because of Toby McGuire. So I just found like a male voice that I enjoyed on the Google Play Store, and I think it was literally $1. It might have been 2, and I think there were even free versions because it's so old and it's considered a classic at this point. Just like Little Women, I think I bought Little Women for like $3 or something as an audiobook because it's a classic. So you can definitely shop around. If your library doesn't have an audio version, you can find one. If you like ebooks, I'm sure you can get a free PDF of it since it's so old. Yeah, I bet there's a million copies somewhere used that you could buy at a used bookstore. I probably would buy this physical book just because I did it. Yeah, I think that it did a really good job depicting the time period, and I think it does have some good life lessons in it. And I think it's just such a well-known classic that I would probably buy a physical copy and keep it on my bookshelf. Especially if I could find like a really cool one that had a cool cover or something. I should shop around for that now. Yeah. If you find a cool hard copy version and you want to share the link with me, go for it. If you agree with me or disagree, comment below. I love discussing these things. Yeah. If you have any other recommendations of book versus movie, let me know. If you have any recommendations for TV shows or songs or books in general, I love hearing them all. I love adding to my list of things to consume. It's my favorite pastime. So I appreciate you all loving me and supporting me, and I love you and support you in whatever you do. So yeah, until next time. Okay, bye.